Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. This one is going to be something different, obviously by the title. It's a Q&A. It's been a while since I've done a question and answer, so these questions should be refreshing and new and different. I posted on my Instagram for people to ask me questions, and there was a whole bunch, and within like the first half an hour it was like over 100 questions, so I skipped through a lot of them and chose ones that I thought would be interesting. And there's about, right, one, two, I'm not going to count, there's probably about 20 questions. Okay, so let's do it. Question number 1 from 167. Do you have a specific type when it comes to dating the opposite sex? Well, really my type normally is someone that's kind of shorter than me or my height, because I'm only about 5'8", and normally I'm attracted to brunettes and with brown eyes. But there have been some blondes that are like caught my eye, but normally, yeah, it's brunette with brown eyes. Orgasm J, Samir, how you doing? Has asked, how many times has Fredrik came close to wrecking your paintings? So for you guys that don't know, Fredrik is my kitty. He's my son, my baby, and my paintings are always sped up with the time lapse, so you don't actually see that when I'm painting, he comes behind the canvas. Yeah, so while I'm painting, he comes and attacks my arm while I'm doing like the precise detailing parts. It always happens when I'm doing that part. And he makes me fucking smudge the whole thing, and I get so pissed off. I can't hit him, he's a cute little kitty. But I'll tell you what I use to get him away. Well, I can't find it. I have a water spray and I spray him and he shits himself, and then he's gone for half an hour, and then half an hour later he comes back. He's a little shit. Faigda, sorry if I mispronounce your name, Faigda, says, can you touch your nose with your tongue? Which I don't, let's screenshot this. I think I'm touching the tip, like, no, the very bottom of it. My tongue's not that long, it's more like, it's like more like fat. Bo though, my brother Bo, his tongue can fucking reach his eyeball. Crazy. Reptilian. Okay, another question from Chanda Alvarez. Do you or Luke have a girlfriend? No, we don't have a girlfriend. I've been single now for about, we're in May, 6 or 7 months. Luke's been single for a couple years. No girls in the picture. And honestly, I don't think I'll be getting another girlfriend until, you know, I'm more settled in life or more established with myself. But you never know, a girl could come and just sweep me off my feet, and that's that. Kayla Omara has asked, what's your favorite thing to do aside from painting? Well, these days, most of my days are filled up with painting as soon as I wake up until I go to sleep. So when I'm not doing that, I like watching documentaries. I like watching a lot of crime documentaries or informative documentaries, medieval documentaries, shit like that. And I do like to play sports. I love watching sports. I love soccer, or for you Europeans, football. I love watching the football. So sports and watching crime documentaries. Anna_Poppy has asked, when did you start art? Well, growing up, I always loved to draw. I was a bit better than your average person at drawing. So pretty much in primary school, going back to prep, I was known in my class to be the one that could draw shit. So that's when I started. I was never like fully dedicated to it. I just liked to draw. The past probably year has been the most I've been into art. Kalia96 or Kelia96, sorry if I mispronounce it once again. What's your favorite thing about art? My favorite thing about art is that normally as a person I like to be by myself at most of the times. I enjoy my own company. So when I'm doing art, I can be by myself, and you know, I think a lot. So when I'm doing art, I'm constantly like thinking about everything, and yeah, it's pretty much an escape from the world. sitting down for hours by myself, just thinking. So that's what I like about art. Fagda has asked, some of you guys had a couple good questions, so some of you guys feature in this more than once. Anyway, Fagda has asked, where would you like to be in 5 years' time? In 5 years' time, it'd be a dream of mine to eventually have my own apartment / studio to do art in. Doing this like full time with my own studio. I'm not sure if marriage is like going to be a thing in 5 years' time. Actually, when I was young, I thought I'd be married with kids at a pretty young age, but now I'm 25 and it still hasn't happened, so fuck, who knows when that's gonna happen. 5 years' time, yeah, having my own studio, and yeah, fuck, 5 years' time, I'm 30 years old. Shit. I'm just happy I haven't started bolding. Katie Boom has asked, how much time do you spend painting? So like I said in the other question, all my days consist of painting. So pretty much my routine is I wake up, probably say, I try to wake up at 10 a.m., which is pretty late to normal people's 9 to 5 jobs. But that's why I like art, I like doing this. I get to work my own hours. Anyway, I wake up about 10, 11, 12 a.m. and then I'll go to the post office and ship off some paintings. And then as soon as I come home, I start painting. So probably about 3 p.m. I'll start painting. And then I go for the whole night. It could be like 10, 12, 15 hours straight and paint. Because once I start a painting, I don't like to stop until I finish it. And especially this year, I've set my goal of 150 paintings. I have no time to fuck around and not paint. So, and I enjoy doing it too. I spend probably about 6 days a week painting. So it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday I'll, probably get fucked on the drinks. It's my chill day. And then Sunday I start again, hungover, I start again. Amber_181 has asked, where's your favorite place that you've traveled to? My favorite place that I've traveled to is definitely Europe. I've never been to Asia, so I heard that's a really cool place to visit. But I loved Europe because when I was there, it seemed so carefree, just beautiful places. The architecture is beautiful. It's all like a lot of historical buildings, and that's what I like. I like history. And yeah, when I was there, I just felt like, fuck, I'm close to the medieval times with the buildings. Because here in Australia, our country's fairly young. It's like 200, 300 years old. In Europe, it's thousands of years old. Emily Merzuk asked, are you happier with what you're doing with your life now than the last few years? Right now, with what I'm doing with my art, I'm probably the happiest I've been in a while, because it's given me a direction to head in for my life. It's given me motivation, and I'm actually passionate about it. And to be doing something I'm passionate about doing, it's given me happiness. So, is there any other part to that question? The last few years before the art, I was pretty miserable. I didn't have any direction in my life. I had no idea what I wanted to do, and I know they were some depressing years. So since I found art, rediscovered it into my life, I've been much more happier. So yeah, it's a bit of a deep question there. Kelia96 has asked, do you miss touring? And fucking oath, I miss touring. That was some of the best times of my life. It was crazy looking back onto it. When I was touring, it was all just a blur. It seemed like it was all a dream. Now that I look back onto it, it's just fucking crazy what we went through, and how many people would come out to see us. Yeah, it's just crazy thinking about it. I miss seeing all you guys too. You guys that have still stuck around after all these years, even though we've stopped Janoskians a couple of years ago. It'd be good to see you guys once again soon in the future. And hopefully I can do that by touring and showing some of my art pieces, or fucking doing murals around the world. Kayla Amara has asked, when did you know you wanted to start focusing on painting full time? Well, I knew that I wanted to start focusing on painting full time when, my art was actually selling, and, I uploaded Instagram, people was telling me, well, it's pretty good, your shit. So yeah, that's when I knew I wanted to start doing it full time, because through when I was beginning the art, I was discovering it to be a passion of mine. At start, art was never a passion of mine. It was just something I was kind of good at. It was never a passion. But once it started turning into a passion, that's when I knew I wanted to start focusing on it, and hopefully do it for, the rest of my life. Next question. 167 has asked, how old were you when you started painting? Oh fuck, to answer this question, we're gonna have to go way, way, way back until last year. So I've only been painting for about a year now, and my first painting, it's just up there. I'll send it to Luke so he can edit in right here. So this was my first painting that I ever did, which was last year. So I was 24, so yeah, not long at all. Pearlan_XIX has asked, do you have any favorite artists, or is there any artists in particular that have influenced you and your work? There's no artist that has influenced my work, but there is an artist that has inspired me, which is Alec Monopoly, just because how far he's gotten with himself and with his work. He's living the life because of his art, and I'm really inspired by that. He's selling his paintings, I'm pretty sure, for about $30,000 to $40,000 a piece. So that's inspiring to me. Hopefully one day I can get to that level. Even if I was at half that level, then fuck, yeah, that'd be good. But yeah, he's definitely a huge inspiration to me. Janine.Benico has asked, what kind of paints do you use, and do you prefer any brands? Well, the paints I use they're acrylics, but it's a brand called Matisse. Matisse was actually a famous artist, but where I'm from, there's not many art stores around, so there's this store called Eckerle's that I travel, and they sell Matisse, and that's what I use, and they're really good paints. And then there's a local $2 shop next to me. If I run out of a color and I quickly need to get a color, I buy these. These are $6 a pop, so they're not the best paints, but it'll do the job. You just have to give it a couple of layers so it comes out strong. Amy Curtois, I hope I pronounced your name right. I know you're a patron of mine, so thank you for the love, I appreciate that. She said, what made you get into art? Well, this one's gonna be a surprising one. You guys probably think what got me into art was, you're expecting to hear I like doing it, I was kind of good at it, it was a passion of mine, but that's not actually the answer. The answer is that I used to be heavily into gambling, sports betting, and fuck, I used to have a bad addiction to it, and these were some of the darker years of my life. And it came to the point where eventually I ran out of money, so I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna get more money to gamble more? So I was looking in my room like, fuck, can I sell anything just to make some more money to gamble? And I went to my drawer in my old sketchbooks and I saw some drawings like, oh, maybe people want to buy this shit. So I put it on Twitter, and a number of people bought it, and I was actually surprised that people bought it. And then suddenly I had money to gamble again. Then it came to a point where I kept on, drawing to sell so I can have some more money. And then, eventually I opened my Instagram account and I started getting into painting. And it's hard to talk, it's an awkward subject to talk about because I'm not proud of my gambling days. It was a pretty bad addiction. But yeah, then I kept painting more and more and more. And I eventually stopped. My gambling got really bad. I would empty out my bank account to gamble. But then, thank God, now I've stopped. I've overcome the addiction, and now I'm just painting because you know, actually now I'm really passionate about it and motivated to do something with my life, build something for myself, and that's what was the question? That's what got me into art. So, gambling. Exumida, fuck, I'm sorry, I definitely pronounced your name wrong. Said, what's your favorite song right now? And you guys would not know it, but it's a song, let's get it up. It's a song by one of my favorite artists called Parafakuva, and it's called Something Near. Search this up. Parafakuva, Something Near, and then just go to your bed, put your headphones on, relax, and just like float. That's what the song does to you. Just like floating. It's a beautiful song. I hate like when I have a new favorite song because I listen to it so much to the point where it makes me sick. That's what's happening with this song right now. But yeah, guys, check it out. It's a fucking beautiful song. 167 said, are you religious at all? Growing up, I was raised Catholic. My family's Catholic. But I don't know, about the age of 8, I started questioning everything. God, is it real? Is it legit? And now I'm not religious at all. I kind of don't really like religion because I believe that it was used in order to gain power over people, and a lot of the shit is medieval thoughts and writings that we shouldn't like follow today. The good thing about religion is it teaches you good morals, but you don't need to be religious to know decent morals. So I don't see the point of religion, but if it makes people happy, then all for it. I don't care if other people are religious, but for me, not really religious. Ashlyn.Peta asked, what was your peak year and why? In brackets, what was the best years for you? Well, obviously my peak years were the Janoskian days, probably about 2012, 13, 14. Those were my peak years because that time was just the craziest time in my life. It was unexpected for all that shit to happen. I try not to think of them as my peak years because I'm only 25. I've got so much more years to live. And if I had to say my peak year is already done, then what else do I have to live for? So I'm envisioning my peak years are still yet to come. That's a good mindset to have, I believe. 167 asked, did you go to art school or take any classes? No, I never went to art school. Never took any classes, but we obviously did art class in school, which I failed. I failed the subject, funnily enough, and now I'm like trying to do it for a living. I failed the subject mostly because the art classes, what they teach you in art in school, it's just a lot of bullshit, and like the theory behind it, it's like fucking, they give you an abstract painting with a bunch of scribble on it and they say, what's the meaning behind this? How do you feel about this? And it's just bullshit. And also in art, at school, fucking you do a nice piece of work, what you think is a nice piece of work, and then the art teacher, Mr. Know-It-All, Mrs. Know-It-All, comes along and says, you should change this and change that, and they scribble on your work. You're like, what? You fucked up my work. Anyway, I hated art class. Yeah, so bottom line, no art classes, and I failed art class. How good is that? Mariam XX21 has asked, what inspired you to become an artist? What inspired me to become an artist is just trying to constantly get better and better. And obviously, if I'm trying to make it my full-time job, so if I can do that for a living, then I love my life because it's something I'm truly happy doing. So I would hate to work a normal 9-to-5 job and like, you know, get decent money, but like you're just sitting in an office wasting your life. I don't like, yeah, that's something I never want to live by or would want to live through. So if I keep pushing now, keep going hard, then I won't have to work a 9-to-5 job. Evan Todd has asked, how's your life been after the Janoskians? So we stopped Janoskians now like 2 to 3 years ago. To be honest with you, life after the Janoskians has been, you know, for me, quite miserable, confused, lonely. And I say all this shit because after Janoskians finished, I never knew what I wanted to do with my life. And, you know, for years I turned into a lazy, pathetic piece of shit. Yeah, I turned into a lazy, pathetic piece of shit, and I had no idea where I was going, what I wanted to do, and that made me depressed. Yeah, so after the Janoskians, it wasn't a good time until I discovered art. Now I'm fucking pissed off. Until I discovered art, my life has turned around, and you know, now I have something to live for and to be motivated for. For the past 4 years, I wasn't in a good place at all, and you know, it happens to a lot of people. They don't know what they want to do with their life, and that eventually, you know, makes them to be depressed and confused, lonely, scared, like I was. But you know, all I can say is if you are going through something like that, just know that it will eventually get better. It's such a cliche thing to say, but it will eventually get better. You just have to have a focus, a goal, or some direction you want to take. You need to fix yourself. That's what I had to do, fix myself. Jaden Edgar has asked, do you smoke weed? You should try and film a video painting while high-low. There's another thing. I don't smoke weed now, but fuck, I used to be a raging stoner. That's also why my life, like, for a while turned to shit, because I was a raging stoner, wake and bake stoner. And yeah, especially when we were living in LA, the weed there was crazy. Yeah, I smoked so much, probably for about 3 to 4 years. I smoked so much, so I have a joint, it wouldn't even do anything. My tolerance was that high to it. But yeah, I eventually end up smoking so much over the years, I'd have a joint, and it'd start to make me really anxious, depressed. So I stopped smoking weed, and it was one of the best decisions of my life. But now, don't get me wrong, if I'm like having some drinks and the boys come and there's a joint, I'll have a puff or two, but I used to be bad. I used to need weed to function, but now if I have a joint, I'll get too anxious and paranoid. So yeah, weed is for some people, and for others it's not. I'm not against weed, by the way. So this is by Malu.Burgeon. Why did you and the others stop with the Janoskians videos? Well, with the Janoskians videos, we filmed that when me and Luke were like fucking 15 when we started. Bo was 18, Skip was 16, James was 15. Yeah, we were young kids and we did it for fun. We didn't do it, you know, expecting to make a career out of it. It was just for fun and to have a laugh and share with our friends. And that's what it was for the first couple of years. It was all just a laugh and fun until after a while it turned into, you know, fuck, we have to film because now it's our job. So we lost the raw comedy style that we used to have, and I don't know, I think the content just turned really stale. To be honest, I don't think any of us wanted to be pranksters for our whole life. Like, we could get away with so much shit when we were younger because we were young. Now imagine I'm 25 and I'm on the train barking in someone's ear. I'd get hit in the face because I'm 25 now. Yeah, it was funny back then because we were kids. It was pretty funny. But now, if we do it, we'd just be pestering people. It wouldn't be the same. And also, our pranks were all legit. They were no pranks were staged. What happened towards, you know, the end of us being on YouTube filming pranks is other YouTubers started filming pranks, but their pranks were all staged and scripted. And people are so naive when they watch it, they can't even realize that it's scripted. And these guys scripting the pranks would get 10 times more views than us. And it just pissed us all off. It was like, fuck this shit. What's the point of doing it if other people are scripting it? getting 10 times more views. It's like, I don't know, it just took the fun out of pranks in general. Anyway, yeah, we all grew older. Like I said, you can't fucking do pranks for the rest of your life. You can't be 30 years old and doing pranks. You can, but it's not something I wanted to do for the rest of my life. No way. Christiana has asked, what do you do when you get in an artistic rut? Or how do you stay inspired? Yeah, so like I said, this year I'm doing 100, my goal is to do 150 paintings, and as we speak now, I've done 58 paintings. That means I have to do about 3 or 4 paintings a week, which means I get into an artistic rut a lot. So sometimes for hours I'm just thinking, fuck, what the hell can I paint? Well, like, what can I do? But, you know, the best way to overcome it is just start with something and start building on it. You have to think about it for a couple of hours, but yeah, just try to get something on the canvas and build from there. But yeah, it's normal to get in an artistic rut. It happens to every artist. Words Apart has asked, what do you love about painting? Well, what I love about painting is, like I said, being by myself, lost in my mind or lost in the music I'm listening to. And when you're painting, there's a lot of challenges you have to overcome. So it's fun. It's like problem solving. So in a way, that's fun for me. And once you do learn to solve the problem, you're also growing and you're learning too. And I also like, what I love about painting is the final outcome. And like, if I spend 20 hours on a painting or whatever, to see the final outcome is pretty rewarding. So, and then I love posting it to you guys and hearing your feedback. So yeah. Alright guys, this is now the end of the video. I didn't even realize I was talking for 35 minutes. Freaking hell. I hope you learned a lot. Some parts got pretty deep. Wasn't expecting for it to get deep, but you know, I thought I'd be honest, tell the honest truth. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and eventually, maybe in a year's time, I'll do question and answer part number 2, and we'll see how far I've evolved after 1 year. Yeah, thank you guys once again. Thank you to all the patrons. Yeah, you guys are really the backbone of my channel, and just the fact that, you know, there's not that many of you patrons, but just the fact that there are some, like, means so much to me. Yeah, all of you guys that watch this video mean a lot to me, and the fact that you know, sit through time lapses with paintings, it means the world. So thank you very much. I think that's about it. Take care, ciao. I don't know how to stop this. This is Luke's expensive camera, so I don't know what I'm doing. How do you stop this?